not, showing the team and everything, like before, like we usually do. Uh, but yeah, basically, I didn't have enough. Like when we had this battle was actually like we were having the battle late, basically. This is actually Saturday night that we're having this battle, or that we already did, obviously. And I couldn't record it wasn't, it wasn't the right environment to be able to record. Um, that's basically why um, you know, that's basically why it's the post recording. I did record the battle, but just turned off the mic so you couldn't hear, me blabber and stuff, and stuff in the background. So yeah, so now what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna commentate over the battle that's already happened, and yeah, so you can see the team that I predicted him to bring. It's gonna be so weird. But anyway, yeah, I just felt like this was the best way to be able to record this. You can see the mouse that's moving over. So yeah, you saw that I was just way off with the team prediction. I definitely did not predict his team very well. But as you can see there, he does bring the Absol, he brings the Scolipede, the Mew, the Togekiss, Gliscor, and Kingdra. So the only two things I predicted right were the Mew and the Togekiss. He brought the Scolipede, which I honestly didn't expect. He brought the Absol, which I probably should have expected, but I didn't. And then he brought what did he bring? He brought the Kingdra, which was kind of surprising for me. And then finally he brought the Gliscor, so which I honestly didn't really expect, but I mean it kind of makes sense. So yeah, so that's that. So now at this point I'm just thinking, what should I lead with? I kind of wanted to lead with Poe just to get some early damage off, just straight up. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do at first, but then I'm like, hold on, do I really want to do that? Because I don't know. I just felt like overall Kyurem was my best play to lead with, because in my mind I saw him leading with three things: either Mew, Gliscor, or Scolipede. And in my opinion, like Kyurem just matched up better against those three than Poe did. So that's Gengar, by the way. So that's why I ultimately decided to do that. So yeah. Anyway, Lorelei, Dallas, is issuing the challenge. By the way, make sure you go check out his channel. He's a really good battler, and you're gonna enjoy this one because this is a really good battle. So anyway, I lead with Kyurem. He leads with the Gliscor. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, he might be speed invested, but he probably can't OHKO me with anything. This was actually misgened. I'm not sure if that was my fault or not, but I wanted this to be timid, but it was actually modest. So if that Togekiss is max speed, it actually outspeeds me by 2 points. So that could be a factor later on in the game, but we'll see. So anyway, Kyurem is here. I just clicked I clicked substitute because I predicted him to either switch or protect there. So I figured substitute was my best play. He actually went for Stone Edge and missed. I know he's scarfed, we talked about after the battle. I know he was scarfed, and so that definitely sucked for him. Because I don't even know how much damage that Stone Edge would have done. I probably should have calculated after the battle, but I didn't. I'm not sure how much that would have done, but it definitely would have, put me in range for other things in the battle, possibly. And that would have just been a start, because if he did enough to where I couldn't get a sub up, then pretty much my Kyurem just dies, or something else takes damage. But now, just that automatically changes, because now his Gliscor's down, and I have a relatively healthy Kyurem on the field. Well, pretty healthy actually. It's got about like 80, I'd say like 87% health, or 88, something like that. So yeah, anyway, so Gliscor's down early, which is great for my Scizor, because if my Scizor can start, putting in the work, hopefully that's gonna work. So in comes Slytherin, his Scolipede. Now I didn't want to stay in because I kind of feared the rock slide, but at the same time, I didn't really know what this thing wanted to do. So I just ended up, I kind of wanted, I immediately went into Pokemon and I'm like, alright, Scizor kind of seems like my best play. Because Poison Jab, he can't hit me with Poison Jab. He can't hit me with Mega Horn, or he can, but it's going to be resisted. I didn't want to go into Chubbs. Well, I'm looking at him right now, as you can see by the bottom screen. I'm just going to make sure this is still recording. Sorry, you're going to see that. Alright, we're good. So, I didn't want to, what did I not want to do? I didn't want to switch into Gligar because, basically, I didn't want him to be able to set up free rocks. I didn't have Defog on Gligar. If you watch the Team Builder, you would know that, but, yeah, I didn't have Defog on Gligar. I had Defog on Scizor, so if you wanted to set up any spikes or toxic spikes or anything, I'd be able to just defog him away, which is primarily what I was scared if he was going to hazard stack me. But he just goes for a sub there. Again, I'm switching into Mega Scizor on an attack, but there he does go for sub, which is fine. Now here, I wanted to go for the U-turn just to see what he would baton pass into, because I wasn't sure if he was going to protect or baton pass. I knew he was going to do either of those, or just attack me, which wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, because at this point he's shown substitute. There's really not much other than like hidden power fire that he can hit me with. Yeah, so I was either gonna go for bullet punch or U-turn here. There's no real reason for me to switch, so I was thinking U-turn would only be good if he went into like Mew, which I wouldn't really see him going into Mew against the Mega Scizor. I feel like he'd bring in Togekiss to go for the flamethrower, seeing how I didn't go, because Bullet Punch would outspeed this thing anyway, like no matter what. So here I'm just gonna go for the Bullet Punch because I feel like if he's gonna outspeed me obviously. If he baton passes, he's probably going to go into he's probably gonna be able to go into the Togekiss. Yeah, he's gonna be able to. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, we're back. Okay. Alright, great. So, anyway, yeah, so, sorry, I kind of like got tangled up with my words at the end there, but I felt like if he was gonna baton pass, he was gonna go into Togekiss, I would go for the U-turn. I wouldn't be able to break this up because it would be quad resisted, and then I'd have to switch into something, but I ultimately decided just being able to break the sub with the Bullet Punch on the Scolipede was my best play. But then he got to see that he got a free switch. He gets a free switch into, Kingdra here with the +1 speed, and that's not good because now I'm gonna hope that this thing isn't physical, because if it is, it kind of just destroys my team. So that's a bit unfortunate. He actually used the natural gift fire here, so that's I wasn't gonna stay in, so I guess he predicted my switch, or maybe he just really wanted to hit me with that. But yeah, there's no way in hell I would stay in on that thing. So yeah, that's kind of where I was at there. So anyway, at this point I'm like, alright, that did a lot of damage, but at least we know he's not life orb or anything. He just used his item with the natural gift. So I'm looking at the calcs. I knew I could, judging by that natural gift damage, he was probably Jolly. And even if he's adamant, he can't really kill me with a waterfall. So I'm like, alright, let me just fire off the Thunderbolt, because if he does end up setting up or anything, I don't want to Volt Switch, because then I have nothing to switch into. So yeah, that's ultimately what I decided to do, just go for the T-Bolt, and hope for the best. So yeah, I knew he couldn't really kill me with anything at this point, even if he's mixed. I am, I'm especially defensive, so I can take any special attack, and I can take a waterfall, but if he flinches me, that's the only thing. So he does end up just straight up D-dancing. So at this point he's at +1 attack and +2 speed, because the speed boost he baton passed into. So yeah, here I just go for the Thunderbolt, which is really good for me because if I had gone for Volt Switch, that would have been really bad. At this point, I'm just sacking off Magnezone. I'm just going to click Thunderbolt because I know that a Waterfall is going to be able to kill me at this point. But he actually goes for the Outrage, which is huge. I definitely didn't expect that. I'm not sure what. Maybe maybe he thought I was going to switch, but there really wasn't much of a reason for me to switch. Plus, even if I switch, you can just go for Outrage the next turn. So, yeah, like Outrage is the only physical Dragon type move Kingdra learns. So, just wanna, yeah. So that's kind of what sucks about a physical Kingdra is that you don't get Dragon Claw. I don't think, at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, D-Dance Kingdra would be way more popular if it got Dragon Claw. Just because you wouldn't be locked into Outrage. So anyway, I just cover the Volt Switch there because I feel like after the Sculpey comes in, I know that I want to be able. If he's either gonna kill me here, he's gonna go for the sub. There's no reason not to Volt Switch here, because if he goes for the sub, then I'm just gonna be able to break it and get out of there, which is what I ultimately do. I'd rather bring something in. At this point, I'm calcing. I think that's why you see the mouse in the bottom there. Yeah, at this point, I'm calcing. I'm calcing my Mega Scissor, because if it's, I wanted to see how much a Bullet Punch would do. So that's what that was. Water. Water's so good. Yum. Especially when you're thirsty, you know. Water's better when you're thirsty. Okay, so anyway, yeah, at this point I'm just calculating to see how much Bullet Punch did. I remember it did to a fully offensive, to a non HP invested Scolipede or defense invested, a Bullet Punch actually does 51 to 61%, so it's a guaranteed kill if he is not HP invested. So I'm pretty much, you know, that's what I did. So yeah, I get to keep bounty for Death Fodder. There's really no reason for me to go into anything but Scissor, because if I go into anything else, he's going to be able, like, nothing else outspeeds this thing. Well, Greninja would have, but not after that speed boost. So, wait, no, I don't think I would have outsped this thing with Greninja, because I wasn't max speed, but I might have, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, like, I don't want to go into Gligar at that point because I don't want him to get up another sub, and, you know, I didn't want him to be able to baton pass speed. That was the main thing, because if you baton pass speed, that would be bad. So anyway, here I'm just gonna click Bullet Punch. I ultimately decided, like, I was calculating it as after I had clicked Bullet Punch, I should have just gone for the U-turn here, but I clicked Bullet Punch, which kind of sucks. Not sure. U-turn would have done a lot of damage. In fact, I would have just been able to bring in Bounty, sack it off, and then just bring in this thing and Bullet Punch again. Would have made my life a lot easier, but instead I just clicked it, you know, went for the Bullet Punch. U-turn actually, even to a max HP Scolipede, it's still actually, what am I saying? U-turn still breaks a sub, or it does 24 to 28%, and substitute is 25%, so it had a really good chance of breaking a sub, so I probably should just U-turn there, but yeah, anyway. So he's going over the Flamethrower, gets a burn, which is 10%, which is kind of meh, but the Stone Edge miss with Gliscor was worse than that. Like, I didn't really care about the burn at this point. So yeah, I'm just going to click U-turn. I really thought he'd switch into Togekiss here. Seemed like the best play for him, in my opinion. But you're going to see here, he's actually going to stay in. So, little spoilers there. I kind of led myself into that one. But, you know, at this point, I'm kind of thinking, you know, 6-4, just got to continue this momentum. This Mew is very scary, though, because I don't know what it's going to do. But I definitely did predict the switch. Because I thought he would switch against Greninja. That just seems likely. So I'm going to get the U-turn. And it's going to do, like, nothing. And at first I thought this was like a red card or something, or a berry or something. No, it's Weakness Policy. So there's the Weakness Policy. There's this setting up crap. So there's that, which is really unfortunate. because now he's a +2 attack and +2 special attack. I don't know what this thing wants to do. I have to somehow be able to beat it here. So what I'm gonna do, after a lot of thinking, these next few turns are gonna be really long, so I might just skip through some of it. Maybe not, but yeah. Let me just check. Okay, we're like about halfway through. So anyway, at this point I'm kind of thinking, what am I supposed to do? It's not a +2 speed right now yet, because I really do expect it to just rock polish or agility or something soon in the near future. But I believe I just go into bounty here just to sack it, because I don't know what he's gonna use. So I didn't want to bring anything in on an attack, because I felt like everything else was just too useful. So Bounty's gonna come in here. I really didn't want him to go for the rock polish or anything like that, but he did, so that really sucks. Now I have to play really well to be able to somehow beat this thing. So anyway, sorry if I sound stuffy. I really don't know why I do, but yeah, that's that. At this point, I just believe I just did. What did I click? I thought I clicked Signal Beam. It didn't really matter at that point, so I probably should have clicked Signal Beam just in case. But yeah, so just in case like he clicked sub, because if he had clicked sub, I would have gone for the volt switch. If I had gone for the volt switch and he clicked sub, then I'd have to switch into something else to sack it. I stupidly forget that this thing's a +2 speed. So I was calculating right now how much a Dark Pulse does if this thing's max HP, which I kind of predicted it to be, since he doesn't really need any speed to outspeed my whole team, and it's +2. So yeah, I just go in Eclipse. It was a bonehead play, but yeah, you guys are gonna see momentarily. Right now I'm calculating obviously, but I at this point my only shot was to go into Eclipse and click Dark Pulse, right? So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, right? What am I saying? The calcs say that it's the Dark Pulse is gonna kill, so just gonna fire off that. Not gonna overpredict, because even if he brings in Togekiss, we can go from there. But he outspeeds me because he's at +2, like I said. So Greninjas is gonna drop to that. At this point, I'm like, all right, if he has Ice Beam, that's the game. So if he has Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Aura Sphere, then that's the game, because Gligar can't live an Ice Beam, and our only shot is if we can live a hit from it. Our only shot is that if Gligar can live a hit. So that's literally what I'm gonna have to do here. I'm just gonna bring this thing in, and I'm just going to click the button. I actually think about this move, because excuse me. It's 11:30 at night, and I'm usually asleep by now. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'm in with Gliscor. If he has, sorry, Gligar, I end up going for the Toxic because I calced a Bullet Punch for Mega Scizor. It's not going to be able to do enough if I go for Earthquake here. He goes for the Psychic, so no Ice Beam, and luckily I'm able to land a Toxic. Thinking about it now, if he didn't have Psychic, I would have been able to go into Gengar and win, or not win, but beat this Mew. So, and you guys are gonna see that in proof later in the battle. So, anyway, I got the Toxic off. At this point, I'm just thinking, is this Chubbs good for anything at this point? It's really not, because Scolipede, it probably can't kill me at this point, which is kind of pitiful for it. But there's, even if I roost up against the Scolipede, there's really not much reason to just keep this thing, unless I want to get up rocks. But there's nothing that wants to switch in. That's just, I knew he was probably going to go for Flamethrower there, so there wasn't much to switch in here. So now I'm in a predicament. Alright, Mega Scizor does 30 to 36% with Bullet Punch to a max HP Mew, which was what I was calculating before when I brought in Chubbs. I have 3 options here. Well, during the battle I thought I only had 2, but the 2 options that I thought I had, like the only 2 options I thought I had, was to I can either go into Po, bait the Psychic and go to Mega Scissor, and hope that that works, and then just Bullet Punch, because at that point, this Mew is definitely going to die to a Bullet Punch after one more round of Toxic. Or I could go into Mega Scissor straight up and hope that I can kill with Bullet Punch. It's going to be a roll. So yeah, ultimately I couldn't risk. I know Esperanza is a good battler. I felt like I couldn't risk going into Gengar, and then switching into Mega Scissor, because at this point Mega Scissor, I need Mega Scissor to win. Gengar is not as useful, so I didn't really think about it at this point. But I could just go into Cure him, and then predict the Aura Sphere and go into Gengar. That could have been a play, but I actually didn't think about that. So at this point, I'm just thinking, I click Fight. I'm about to load up a Bullet Punch. Is it gonna kill? I don't know. Just really gotta hope that it does. At this point, the roll was not in my favor, so it was most likely not gonna kill. But at this point, I'm like, all right, hold on. I still have Gengar left, and I don't really need Gengar at this point. Because looking at his team, I don't think I Oko Togekiss, and it's probably just going to be able to do a lot of damage back to me. Absol kills me with Sucker Punch, unless I get some mad plays with the Destiny Bond, but I doubt that. And, Scolipede, I have Scizor for it. Scizor can Bullet Punch and kill the Scolipede, most likely. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point, since it's below half. So yeah, Gengar seemed like the weakest link at this point, because I still wanted Kyurem, because as of right now, I thought I 100% outspeed max speed Togekiss no matter what, unless it's Scarfed. I had 143 speed, since it was modest instead of timid. If it was timid, I would have outsped Togekiss no matter what, but since it was modest, like I said in the beginning of the video, max speed Togekiss actually outspeeds me by 2 points. So if he has max speed, that's gonna be bad. But yeah, I decided that ultimately Gengar is not gonna be favorable in this matchup for any longer. So I had to go into that thing. Hope he goes for Flamethrower, because if he goes for Flamethrower, I can probably live that hit. Like, that's what took me so long. I was calculating to see if I could live with the Flamethrower. I do live the Flamethrower, which is actually gonna be awesome, because he dies to another Toxic turn. He's obviously gonna kill me here, but that doesn't really matter for me. At this point, I'm just like, alright, just go for Sludge Wave. So yeah, it didn't really matter at this point, because even if he had Rest, he had already revealed all the 4 of his moves. What am I saying? Yeah, so it didn't really matter at that point. I knew he outsped, because again, the Rock Polish. But that's actually huge that I lived that first Flamethrower, because now, so yeah, Gengar's gonna go off the ladder. So now, instead of having to bring in Mega Scizor and Bullet Punch it, and then him being able to go into something on my Mega Scizor, now it's a guessing game. Now neither of us know what's in front of us. We have to guess who the other person's gonna bring out. He only has to predict one of my 2. I have to predict one of his 3. I didn't think he'd bring in Scolipede, because at that point it's pretty much dead weight, unless he can pass speed with it, which I don't see happening at this point. So it's either Absol or Togekiss, in my opinion. And I felt like I calced it earlier, I think. Maybe it's later on in the battle, but I remember calcing a Flamethrower from an Absol. It shouldn't kill me. It almost kills, but it shouldn't. Like max roll was like 97% if he wasn't specially invested. But if he is specially invested, obviously that's gonna take me out. So pretty dire situation. But I felt like after doing a few calcs here and there, I ultimately decided to go into Mega Scizor, because it felt like the better play. Because Scizor kind of has a better matchup against his last 3 than Kyurem, but I still want Kyurem for that Togekiss, because Bullet Punch doesn't Oko Togekiss from full. Max is like 75% if he's max HP. Well, sorry, that was like with with 76 EVs in defense, because that was like the spread that they had on the damage calcs. So anyway, I decided before I sent out Mega Scizor, okay, if he goes into Togekiss, he's 100% going to go for the flamethrower. I know he's going to bring it. He's going to go for the flamethrower. If he's scarfed, then he outspeed, but it doesn't matter because we can live flamethrowers. As he does go for the flamethrower. If he went for air slash, that'll be pretty bad, but luckily he didn't. I did just. I knew he had to have flamethrower. There really wasn't much of a reason not to bring flamethrower for him, especially because I did have Magnezone as well. I've said flamethrower like about 20 times in the last 30 seconds. But anyway, I think it's this turn where I realize I'm going on Showdown. I look at the set. I am timid on Showdown, but in the game, I'm modest. I switch back and I'm like, hold on, I'm 143 speed. So the set I had was, I think it was like 36 EVs in HP, max special attack, and 220 EVs in speed. If I was timid, I'd have enough speed to outspeed a Roserade. That's what I was speed creeping. But if I'm modest, I can't outspeed a Togekiss, like I said. So that's bad. If he's max speed, that is. So I just have to go for the Ice Beam. That's my only play. And there it is. He is not max speed, which is huge. Gonna be able to get a lot of damage with that modest Ice Beam. He's gonna go for the Tailwind, sorry, which is incredibly useful for him. Because at this point, he can just go for the Air Slash if he wants. But I'm thinking if he goes, right now I'm pretty sure I'm just calcing. At this point I'm calcing how much an Air Slash does from a Togekiss on my Scissor. So at this point, I calc that I felt like it would be very smart of him to go for an Ice Beam here. Or sorry, what am I saying? See, I've already lost it. I'm so tired of this. But anyway, I feel like he might go for a Roost here, which would be really bad. I feel like it would it would make a lot of sense for him to Roost, because if he Roosts, he loses his Flying typing, which means Ice Beam does significantly less to him. But he actually goes for T-Wave here, and I'm like, oh, the game's gonna honestly rely on hacks. The Thunder Wave Togekiss right then and there. I'm like, alright. I either break through with Bullet Punch, or I don't, and he flamethrowers me and kills me. But pretty sure flamethrower would have killed. It definitely would have, actually. So I break through, I land the Bullet Punch, I take out the Togekiss because he didn't Roost, and that's that. If he had actually roosted, I think he would definitely with the leftovers recovery, he definitely would have been able to live a Bullet Punch. Obviously, depends on his spread. Not really sure what his spread was, but I'm pretty sure he would have been able to live one. Maybe not though. I'll have to ask him on that Togekiss spread. But anyway, now he brings in Scolipede. It just drops to a thing. I'm pretty sure he wanted to go for the substitute there to be able to baton pass into this thing to get the speed to outspeed my Kyurem, but that didn't happen because I didn't get fully paralyzed. So Mega Scizor coming through. He's gonna come through again with that Bullet Punch. Can do a hefty amount of damage to this Absol. Flamethrower is not gonna be able to kill, which actually doesn't even end up mattering in the long run because he does have the Sucker Punch. So yeah, Life Orb is not gonna kill him. If that flamethrower had killed, again, it wouldn't have mattered because he's going to take more Life Orb there. One more turn of Life Orb kills him. So I'm thinking at this point, Kyurem comes in. It can take... I'm pretty sure it can take a Sucker Punch, but I don't need it. I don't have to take that risk. All I have to do is just click substitute because I know I outspeed. I'm at 143 speed. Mega Absol has base 70 speed, which is really bad. So it's not, even with max speed, it's not gonna be able to outspeed me. Only thing you can do here is Sucker Punch, but Sucker Punch fails if you go for if your opponent goes for a status move. I went for substitute. He didn't go for the what am I saying? The Sucker Punch, which I guess he just knew I was gonna sub. But yeah, and then he just dies to Life Orb. if that flamethrower had killed, which, even if it did kill, it wouldn't, it wouldn't have mattered because I would have just been able to sub again with my Kyurem against his Absol, because I had enough health to go for 2 more substitutes actually. So I could have done that, but I didn't, because I didn't have to, obviously, because he just died to Life Orb. So that's that. We improved to a. I'm just gonna pause the video here. We improved to a 5-2 record, which is awesome. I honestly came into this battle expecting to come out 4-3, but we pick up a win, and that was a very, very good battle. Make sure you go check out my opponent. His YouTube link will be in the description. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. Next week we go up against the Kansas City Kingdras, which is actually pretty funny because we went up against Kingdra this week. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.